there's been seemingly a war for talent. Some of it is meme. I don't know. What do you think about Meta buying up talent with huge salaries and the heating up of this battle for talent? And I should say that I think a lot of people see DeepMind as a really great place to do cutting edge work for the reasons that you've outlined. Is like there's this vibrant scientific culture.
Yeah, well, look, of course, there's a strategy that Meta is taking right now. I think that, from my perspective at least, I think the people that are real believers in the mission of AGI and what it can do and understand the real consequences, both good and bad from that, and what that responsibility entails, I think they're mostly doing it to be, like myself, to be on the frontier of that research. So, they can help influence the way that goes and steward that technology safely into the world. And, Meta right now are not at the frontier. Maybe they'll manage to get back on there. And, it's probably rational what they're doing from their perspective because they're behind and they need to do something. But I think there's more important things than just money. Of course, one has to pay, people their market rates and all of these things, and that continues to go up. But and I was expecting this because more and more people are finally realizing, leaders of companies, what I've always known for 30 plus years now, which is that AGI is the most important technology probably that's ever going to be invented. So in some senses, it's rational to be doing that. But I also think there's a much bigger question. I mean, people in AI these days are very well paid. I remember when we were starting out back in 2010, I didn't even pay myself for a couple of years because it wasn't enough money. We couldn't raise any money. And these days, interns are being paid, the amount that we raised as our first entire seed round. So it's pretty funny. And I remember the days where I used to have to work for free and almost pay my own way to do an internship, right? Now it's all the other way around. But that's just how it is. It's the new world. And but I think that, we've been discussing like what happens post AGI and energy systems are solved and so on. What is even money going to mean? So I think, and the economy and we're going to have much bigger issues to work through. And how does the economy function in that world and companies? So I think, it's a little bit of a side issue about salaries and things like that today.
Yeah, when you're facing such gigantic consequences and gigantic, fascinating scientific questions.
Right, which maybe are only a few years away. So,